What is going on, everyone? Thank you for joining the Tully Broadcasting. So, in today's video, I got a couple things I want to go over. First, obviously, we got to go over no more studio. And then we'll obviously go over. I really wanted to make this video strictly just about the preview or the review of how the Giants, at least the first half played against the New England Patriots in this third preseason and last preseason game. So close or right there. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about and mention is the BJ Hill trade for Billy Price. It's pretty much, I think it was just straight up like player for player. Um, Nothing crazy. I'm seeing some people complain about it. I'm seeing obviously and I'm seeing some people like it. Who knows? But I'll just go obviously into the studio part. So yeah, I am a college student. As so right now, I am like at my dorm room. This is my dorm room, as you can see. I'm trying to figure out some cooler things. Like a cooler background, not my roommate's bed. But I do have like I'm looking at a bunch of stuff with my Giants. Right now you can see just to the left I have a Giants flag. With all their awesome Super Bowls because we are for Super Bowl winning team. But I also do have pictures of Daniel Jones. I have pictures of LT, the greatest football player of all time. Some of the tickets from the past Super Bowl. So I got some cool Giants stuff here. I'm not really sure how I can put that into the picture. And I also do like the lighting I'm getting right now with my lamp right here. I think I'm getting better lighting than I am in my basement or my studio, back home. So anyway, I don't think it's that big of a deal to be honest with you. Most of you guys are probably just listening, not really watching. I'd hope, but yeah. So let's just kind of go. That's enough of that. Really, we don't need to talk about that anymore. Let's try to go into the Giants game overall. I'm gonna do my review for it. Now I did not watch the second half. I'm being totally honest with you. I moved in on Sunday, so I did have a busy day. I set time aside to watch the first half because that was the starting teams for the most part. We didn't have some of our weapons, but that was for the most part the starting teams for the Giants as far as offense and defense both go. And it was like the ones against the ones. That was really what they were going to do. That's really what I kind of watched. I did not watch the second half at all. I don't need to watch Mike Glennon suck. I do not need to watch Marjorie Harper get destroyed by every single receiver in the league. I don't need to watch these things. So I was totally fine with just watching what I watched. I watched the first half, and there's a lot of ugly and there's a lot of good. Let's start with the good. Let's start with the good. We'll start with the positive, and we'll end with the ugly, going a little more than that. To start off, defense looked great as always. We kind of figured they were going to be great. The Martinez interception was ridiculous. I don't think you're going to see a lot of that. That looked like that was a fluke, to be totally honest with you. Not to hate on Martinez, but that's just not the kind of guy he is. Good coverage. I'm happy for the coverage and everything, but it's just not. He's not that kind of guy. He's not like a coverage kind of guy. He's more of a fill the gap kind of linebacker tackle. Leads the league in tackles sort of guy. He's not a interception pass coverage freak. Just not him, and that's totally fine. I bet he would say the same thing. Awesome play, fantastic. Another guy I was really excited to look at and really excited to see was Rodarius Williams too. He looks like he could be a serviceable number two while Dory Jackson's out, and that was something I was really happy about when I heard all these good things about in camp. You saw him definitely start to incline. Like he did really bad against the Jets, so he did really good before the Jets. Everyone loved him. Then did really bad against the Jets. Then he did fine against the Browns, and then he killed it against the Patriots. So you saw a lot of coverage with him, just being a blanket on these guys. He did a really, really good job, and he looks like he can be a really good number two. I'm totally happy with that. Just in case Dory Jackson goes down. Obviously, he has like a minor ankle sprain. They say they say he should be good for week one, so I can't wait to see him actually play in live game. I really don't think I've really seen him play in live game, to be totally honest with you. But you do have that. So I'm totally fine with that. But then if something happens, because he has been injury prone in his career, we still have my guy Rodarius Williams. He's going to be very good. I like him a lot. Only thing that sucks though about Adoree Jackson is like I don't want to pay Adoree Jackson to sit in the bench. We think we're paying like over $10 million a year. I don't need to pay him that to sit in the bench. Just saying. But anyway, if it comes down to it, and if something happens to Adoree Jackson, I feel pretty good with Rodarius Williams. So I'm happy with that. Xavier McKinney, Logan, all those guys look great. I'm happy about that. You saw Lorenzo Carter get a sack. It's another great tackle. Our run defense was shockingly like a little at times. I thought it was a little weak. I know the Patriots are very good at running the ball. It's kind of their fucking thing is running the ball, especially the Damon Harris kid. They love him too. So maybe nothing to be totally scared about. Like they just have a good running offense. Again, we did stop them, so it's not like they could run the ball down our throats the entire time that we watched during the Baltimore Ravens game last year. So at the end of the day, it's not that bad. but still, there was times I was like, whoa, I feel like we're getting kind of pushed around a little bit on the front line. But besides that, I think the defense played very well. Again, it's just a half. We don't really know. And to be totally honest with you, I didn't really see Mac Jones, although he apparently killed it in the joint practices. I don't really see Mac Jones or Cam Newton being a huge threat. And I feel like that should have been an easy win for the defense on our side, which it was. It was definitely. Now let's go over to the offense. Now there's definitely some ugly sides of the offense, and there's definitely some good sides to the offense. The two good things I could say, I guess there's three. The three good things I could say: one, we didn't have Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, or Kyle Rudolph, that three-headed monster that I can't wait. We didn't have any of them. We also didn't have Kadarius Toney. That's four guys he didn't have on the offense that are all elite weapons. So that's going to be a big help when we do eventually get those guys, which we will supposedly during week 1. You still haven't seen Kenny Galladay play, which is a little stressful. We still haven't seen him play yet in practice, but we supposedly getting him back week 1. Saquon's coming back week 1. I'm not sure on Kyle Rudolph's status, but I believe he's a week 1 guy too. And Kadarius Toney, I think a week ago they said that he is back, like he's going to be back week 1. So a lot of these guys are all coming back. I cannot wait to watch them, but you have to realize that, like yesterday, Kenny Galladay and Saquon Barkley definitely help out Daniel Jones a lot, and the offensive line a lot. Like those guys really help those guys out a lot. They spread the defense like crazy. You can't stack the box because you have Kenny Galladay out on the edge, out by the sidelines, and you can't just totally commit to the pass because you have to deal with Saquon Barkley, and especially you have to deal with him being the fact that he's such a good pass catcher as well. He's a dynamic player. There's a lot to deal with that offense when those guys do come back. That's that. Number 2 that I liked a lot. And I guess I'll add like a 2A to this sort of thing as well. I really like Sterling Shepard. I thought he played really well. He's having a really strong camp, and I hope this is going to be Sterling Shepard's year. Again, sadly, this is kind of like his last year with us. I'm assuming, in my opinion, it's probably going to be his last year, but I'm really happy with how he played. I think it's going to be a nice farewell tour to peace out to Sterling Shepard. The Daniel Jones and his connection is really good. I like him a lot. But it's sad he's probably going to have to go. Also, to be on number 2, I really thought Daniel Jones played very well, but for kind of the wrong reasons. I thought he played very well because I thought he was able to evade a lot of the pass rushers that were coming in. And that's where I'm going to get into 3, which is the ugly part of this offense is the offensive line played like shit. But Daniel Jones, I felt like was really good in the pocket. You really saw his presence, and you really could feel that he kind of knew where guys were. He knew when to hold on the ball when he got sacked a couple times. You really felt like he kind of knew where he was at, and he did really, really, really well. Like really did. There was a lot of great passes, or a lot of really just driving the ball down the field, playing well, and then we get down to the 1-yard line, and he throws a pick. It's just unacceptable. It really, honestly, to be honest with me. Now I did hear one good point. I can't remember where I totally heard it from. It was a good point though. They said like, oh, well, you got to think, Garrett's probably practicing. He wants, we're not good. Daniel wasn't good in the red zone last year. He wants us to try practicing the red zone. So he practices in the red zone and he throws the ball when they would 9 times out of 10 probably run that shit down their throats with Saquon Barkley or, Eli Penny or Devontae Parker. That's going to be a run. Maybe they wanted to do that. Maybe they didn't. I also heard another excuse saying that Evan Ingram probably should have just sat there where his position was and he would have been fine. But regardless, it was a really bad throw. It was unacceptable. It was a bad pick. It was just a bad in general play. It really was. It was not good for Daniel. But I love the fact that he even got booed a little bit. You heard him get booed in his hometown. But I love the fact that he was getting booed a little bit and he said, fuck it, I'm going to come back out again. He comes out back again, has a great drive, and has a beautiful, beautiful dot from like 25 yards out or something like that to Caden Smith. And that, which I'll go into, is another thing that I'm very happy about. It's the third and last thing I'm very happy about this offense. So I obviously, I've made my jokes. I do not like Evan Ingram, but I'm obviously not rooting Evan Ingram to get hurt. But on the other point, I really like Caden Smith and Daniel Jones' connection a lot, and I kind of feel like it sort of forces the Giants' hand to play him. I feel like the Giants sometimes, even though Joe Judge said like I'm playing the guys who deserve it. I feel like sometimes Joe Judge he plays guys like you have to kind of play Evan Ingram. He's a first-round pick, yada yada. I really like Caden Smith and Daniel Jones' connection. I think that's really good for him. And obviously you can see it, but that's exactly what I want in our tight end. He's a big guy, a blocking kind of guy. He's like a young Kyle Rudolph, a young, sure-handed guy that hopefully it can be really well. Like I'm really excited to see where this happens. And they're saying that Evan probably gonna miss week 1. And to be honest with you, like I think that can make this offense like a little better because I think Caden Smith is a perfect like my tight end. Like what I want in tight end is I want a nice like 5 yard, a guy that runs like a nice like 5 yard stick and just goes like catches the ball sure hand and you get 5 yards if you need him. Like he should be like your backup guy. Like you need him, you fucking got him. He doesn't need to be this dynamic weapon, which Evans supposed to be, which is not obviously. But you know, so now I'm happy to see where we're at with Caden Smith. He played really well. Great touchdown catch. Great throw. Everything was beautiful on that play. And now we're going to the ugly, and it's bad. So obviously, Evan Ingram, like I said, he is a dynamic player. Yada yada. He is fast. He is probably hurt with a weird calf injury. It's kind of weird. I was actually a little nervous at first. I thought maybe a torn ACL. But you definitely saw it because it looked like non-contact almost. But yeah, so he has a calf injury. They're probably saying he's gonna be out for most likely the first week of the season. It is what it is. Guys get hurt all the time in this league. If it's only a week or two, it's not the big end of the world, especially because we have Caden Smith. I like him a lot, and Kyle Rudolph should be coming back soon as well. Like both those guys a lot, so that's good. So we have good backups there. And we should be totally okay. But now let's get into the worst part of the offense, which I can't say anything good about it. I really can't. The offensive line was horrendous. It was fucking horrendous, and that's why I said Daniel Jones plays so well because he was able to feel the pressure that he was getting with all the rushes that he was getting. He's getting rushed like he almost got like rushed like every single fucking play. It felt like. Andrew Thomas played like dog shit. He played so bad. Sorry, Andrew Thomas. I was even defending you on Twitter, dude. You can check my Twitter. I even added you. Obviously, you're not gonna call me back because I got like 60 fans on Twitter. And most of them I know. So anyway, but he played real bad. He played really bad. He kept on getting beat on the outside, which is actually something that's kind of weird because, like they were saying before, he really last year was his biggest problem was getting beat on the inside. He kept getting beat on the inside. Now this year he got toasted on the outside, so that was really bad. Matt Pert played very bad. You even I even was saying, oh, Nate Soda's kind of playing a little better than him, and that's when you're playing very bad. It's when Nate Soda's playing better than you. So, at the end of the day, some people were saying maybe Andrew Thomas is a little bit in his head, and maybe they're saying like, oh, well, maybe he's in his head and he's like trying to focus on like work on technique. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna push the panic button. My cousin Liam, who you guys have seen on the show before, he was like, oh, so he was like telling me, because I'm an Andrew Thomas fan. He was like, oh, so like he's a bust. Everyone's calling people bust. We're just throwing the B word around all over the place. Let's all relax. Let's take a deep breath. We have no idea. This is a preseason game. I would start throwing the B word around when we get to half season and we still suck. If we still suck halfway through the season, I'm gonna be coming for heads just like you guys too. That's all I'm saying. So just wait a second. Let's see what happens, and then we'll start throwing some B words around. All right, guys. All right, cool. So pretty much that's all I'm gonna do for the preseason game. Just gonna do a review of the preseason game. That's all I wanted to do. So we got that down right now. So due to the fact I'm in school right now, there will be times where I'm gonna have a hard time putting up videos, but don't worry, I'm gonna try my best. There are some days where like I just don't have anything to do, so those are the days I'll be recording. And like I said, I'm gonna get my DGens podcast coming up soon with Paul and Austin. That should be a lot of fun. That's coming up soon with the gambling. Get all your gambling facts from us. We're gonna be going over weekly picks for football that we cannot wait to go over, and just stuff like little like segments, stuff like that I'm looking forward to. But guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, like and comment below.